Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're talking about Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse. And he starts out as a normal kid in Brooklyn. He's transferred to prep school. And there's this funny scene at the beginning when he's left his house and he's on his way to school. And this girl says, "We miss you." And then he goes, "I still live here." And then he stops and thinks about it. And he's like, "She misses me." And he and his dad don't really get along. And Miles is really clumsy. As a matter of fact, he falls on the side falls on the street, and his dad stops him because his dad's a policeman. Picks him up, drives him to work, and he said, "I love you, son." And then his Miles just keeps walking, and his dad embarrasses him on the PA for the squad car. And then Miles has his uncle that is later revealed to be the Night Prowler, which is one of Spider-Man's enemies. But Miles doesn't know this. He's just this cool uncle who teaches him how to spray paint, and he's trying to teach him game to hit on this girl named Gwen Stacy, who the first time he meets her is after he's been bit by the radioactive spider because he's walked in on Kingpin, basically taking care of Spider-Man. Kingpin is trying to open a portal to another dimension because he wants his family back. And Spider-Man's trying to stop him because he knows that if he doesn't, everything will collapse and Kingpin's not going to get his way. In fact, one of Peter's final statements was, "No matter what you do, this is not going to happen." And he opens this portal, and it eventually sucks in Peter Parker from another universe. And one of the running gags in this show, or this movie, is, "Hi, I'm insert Spider-Man here, and I was the one and only Spider-Man." And it's a running gag throughout the show because you meet Spider-Pig, you meet Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Noir, all these characters. And so Peter Parker gets sucked into Miles Morales' dimension, and Miles is all stoked because now he's got a Spider-Man to teach him how to do all these things. And if you like this content, please don't forget to like the video so more people can see it. And then there's a chase scene of these Spider-Men where Miles is basically carrying Peter Parker because he got knocked out. There's tons of fun in this movie. So Miles is like, "Yes, you can teach me." And Peter Parker's like, "No, I can't. I don't want to. I've been at this for 22 years." And me and MJ didn't work out, and but he made a promise to his Peter Parker that he would save the day. Peter doesn't really understand yet what he needs to do. He just takes the drive from Miles so he can get home. That's what he wants to do. Because there's a scene where Peter tries to go away, but realizes that he's gonna dissipate because his molecules aren't designed to be in that dimension. And if you stay in one dimension too long, you just kind of evaporate. And so the mission becomes then stopping Kingpin and getting things back to normal and trying to teach Peter how to be Spider-Man. But there's this funny scene where they're being chased by Doc Ock, who's played by a female, which is a great job, by the way. She did a great job in this movie. And Doc Ock is like a female, and she's like, "My name is such and such, but my enemies call me Doc Ock." So she is torturing Peter, basically. And Miles has got an invisibility cloak on. They're getting away with the hard drive. And so all these Spider-Men are meeting in this one spot. And then his roommate comes in because he's in a prep school, like I said, and they're trying to avoid him. And he looks up and then he kind of faints, which is kind of funny. They're all trying to get home, but they then realize that somebody has to stay behind in order to make sure they can shut down the machine. And Miles is like, "I live here, I'll do it." And then they're all like, "No, you can't do it because you're not ready." And so Miles is determined to get this done. And he sits there and he's talking to Peter, and Peter's like, "You're not ready. This is not the thing." And Miles is upset because Peter tells him that he's going to do it. And he basically says, "You're not ready." Gives him a leg sweep, catches him, spins him up in his spider web, and basically takes the machine. And while he's tied up, another thing happens where his dad is talking to him, and it's the emotional scene. Miles has gone from trying to find himself to understanding that he has to be Spider-Man. And his dad figures that he didn't want to talk to him, so he just talks through the door. And Miles learns the shadow punch magically. And then he goes to help Peter. He takes the drive, and him and Peter have this moment of, "I'm so proud of you," and this, that, and the other. And there's another scene where the Spider Woman with the spider in the robot, upset because her spider gets terminated terminated, and her spider was her best friend. And this is such a great movie because there's a scene where Kingpin has Miles Morales all hemmed up, and he just says, "The real Spider-Man couldn't beat me, so what makes you think you can?" And then Miles spins him around, spins him around, spins him around, and basically breaks the thing. But there's also a scene in the movie where Miles catches Peter, and Peter doesn't want to go back because he's afraid he'll mess it up. But he said he remembers what he told Miles, and it's all a leap of faith. And then there's the montage at the end where Miles is like, "Whenever I feel like nobody understands what I'm going through, I remember the other dimensional Spider-Man who know exactly what I'm going through." And him and Gwen become interdimensional friends, and that leads us into Across the Spider-Verse, which will be the next video. And until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Mo Money. Mamba out.